Hello, and welcome to another foundational video of how to draw dragons with the Dragon Story. So in the previous video, I was talking about shapes and the importance of drawing shapes. The other thing you hear me talk about a lot when I draw dragons is form. And you might think, how is form different? And if anyone's actually going to school right now, it's been a while since I've had official training. Feel free to correct me if I'm defining things wrong, but shape and form, I refer to shape and form a lot. And so before we were drawing like squares, right? For shape. Form just simply puts it in like a 3D space. And so all these shapes that we're practicing, the form helps us think in a 3D world. And it's because everything kind of has a shape and a form, right? So like maybe you see someone at the local supermarket, you're like, man, that guy's got like a big square head. And you use your cube to map it out. Well, now it just looks like Minecraft. I didn't mean for that, but I look sad too. There we go. That's happier. My whole point is everything we see has a form to it. So if we're practicing our triangles, we want to be able to see it in 3D space. Or the triangle could be like a pyramid or like a tetrahedron. Tetrahedron, I think that's the right term. I don't know. Feel free to correct me. Pyramids have the 4 sides. I think the tetrahedron only has 3. So like the bottom of a pyramid looks like this, or if you're looking top down. But then there's also top down view of that. And so all this practicing shape, that helps teach our brain and hand to communicate. Practicing form helps us think of how that shape exists in a 3D world. See, like that's getting kind of off for whatever reason. So, okay, imagine if this is a head and now it's looking this way. Now we can like rotate it, right? And now the head's looking like up. That looks like Pinocchio, which is weird. Also circles, there's spheres, and there's also cylinders. And the cylinder is super critical. That is something you cannot practice enough because you have to have this curve that matches this curve. And then like if it rotates, like in 3D space, those 2 curves have to match up. Because if you have a cylinder that looks like this, and then this curve is super curvy, I guess that, well, see, it still doesn't work. Well, this is that's almost like a teardrop or oval thing. But cylinders make up a ton of shapes, especially if you have a circle, cylinder. I mean, those are the basics to figure drawing. But all of this helps us understand how something would lie in 3D space. And all this becomes super critical when you start drawing your dragons and you start moving your dragons around. If you want a really cool pose, it's understanding how these shapes rotate. And so some fun tasks could be draw a cube. Now start in your head, rotate that. And think about, okay, now how's that going to look? Or maybe I should spin it towards me. And see, this is what's great. Your brain knows exactly what is right and what's wrong. You can look at that and be like, that's off. Something's off. And then you go back and analyze your shapes. That probably needs to come down like that. And you just redraw, and fix. And it's because your brain knows exactly. Like, your brain's still learning, you know, what the human form or what the dragon form might be, but your brain knows shapes. And so that is one reason that practicing 3D shapes helps your brain understand the form of something. And so later on, as I get into some of these other tutorials, you will see how this form applies when we start mapping out our dragon form. So again, it seems really simple, but if you're bored and you're someplace and you don't have your, like, even if you just doodle the 3D shapes, this will, it will help advance your ability in art, like, so far. Just practice this over and over and over and over again. I can't stress that enough. I even look at my own drawing and think I need to go back and practice this, because it just helps train the brain and your hand to communicate. So thanks for watching this foundational video. I have other principles to cover. I don't know how many I'll cover, but be sure to check out the channel. I'll get these organized in a foundations, like a channel for just drawing foundations. But thanks for watching. Keep practicing your shape and your form. And yeah, be sure to check out more of my videos. Thanks.